Ah, all right. Welcome back, y'all. Back in Xiangxi, doing the damn thing. You guys are on you're on a mission right now to steal evidence from Inquisitor Yang's office in a little office building in northwest Taijiang. No, northeast. I'm sorry. So you guys are like over here. Um, you did a lot of prep work. Got a Stills was able to kind of get you guys security access to the building. You guys put a like tracking pin on Inquisitor Yang as he was moving away from the building. So you will have an approximate understanding of where he is when he's in range. And I think he was just leaving your range at this point, still moving away. Um, but that was before things got started. Uh, doing the engagement roll, it started. It was a low roll, so you ended up in a desperate position. And so what Stills had done was kind of trip an alarm to kind of get the building cleared out. Which is a good plan. Unfortunately, this building is not built to code. Jiangxi is not well regulated. So tripping those alarms set off some sort of spark that has ignited an actual fire in the building. So people were already filing out. Now there's smoke kind of starting to rise, and people are really actually starting to run out as you guys are kind of standing nearby, and you see the smoke starting to pile out, and people were coming out initially thinking it was just like a test. So they were filing out pretty reasonably, but once the smoke started and they could smell it, people started like really rushing out of the building. So that's kind of what's happening now. As the crowd is starting to rush out, we did establish that there's only a single entrance into the building, and that is where everybody is coming out right now. Once again, a very bad building, not built to code that you only have one entrance and exit, especially for
My
a fire
safety
emergency.
senses are tingling. I can't turn them off. I'm like, this sounds terrible.
This is a very badly built building. Yeah, that is where we are set up. So what do you guys do? What is your plan?
Yeah, let's dodge him real quick.
Well, I don't know, man. The leaders are gone. This is a Diablo show.
Yeah, this is Diablo's introduction to this crew.
I'm supposed to be the backup, man. Supposed to see how y'all function. Yeah, then people who will be taking charge here, they go.
Yeah, I mean, Lil J, you know.
Right, I was gonna say
I'm straight up looking at Stills and I'm giving him an angry growl, like you fucked up.
Stills isn't even in the building. He's remotely located. He's the guy on the chair right now.
Oh, you hear the growl from wherever you're at.
In your earpiece,
in our comm piece.
Got you guys on comms. I'm just sitting at I'm looking at the spider cameras like remotely, and I'm like, oh no.
I guess are we killing this guy or not?
I mean, if he comes back, can we make it look like in an accident? I mean, there's already a fire.
I thought that we were at the point where we didn't want to kill him because of the ramifications.
Then why bring it up?
That was what you not killing him.
I feel like you're trying to tell us you want some death.
I mean, it is never too late until it is. So you can always choose whenever.
I mean, it all. In my opinion, it would honestly depends. If we go in there and we get the evidence and we get out and he doesn't come back, or even if he does come back, is he actually going to run into the building too?
Who knows? Depends on how important his investigation file shit is, and if he doesn't have copies or whatever. I don't know. It seems kind of
I guess to me, it all depends on what happens, as we move forward. Like, if he comes in there, sees us holding the evidence and tries to attack us, I mean, are we just going to try to run, or with that, are we just try to beat him down and then leave?
I think we should at least decide what the, plan A objective of killing him or not is. Because, when I left the last session, however many weeks ago that was, I was under the assumption it was to not kill him because of all the bullshit that could cause, essentially.
It was.
But the Kibo was like, kill that motherfucker in the text or whatever. And I was like, I don't think that's what we were doing. But I wanted to make sure that if y'all wanted to do that, that was what was decided versus just I feel like we all need to get on the same page.
I would say to do it if we can make it look like the fire is what killed him. Not us, but he went in to save his evidence, blah, 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 got barricaded in. That would be my only way.
I have questions. I apologize. I wasn't here when the fire started, so I'm missing some chunks. One, y'all already got me in safety mode, so I assume there's not sprinkler systems or nothing in this building to stop this fire.
No.
As of yet, you don't know. This fire is just starting. The smoke is just starting to kind of come out of the building. So that is an unknown at the moment.
Would still be able to look that up.
It would still potentially wreck your evidence if it's paper because it's going to be wet instead of burned, but that's another thing. The other thing I had was you're telling me that stills can't just crack into this man's computer system and find what we're looking for? This is a hard copy only?
He's a goddamn inquisitor, which is the fucking... If I'm understanding this correctly, D, which is, you correct me if I'm wrong, in the lore, inquisitors are badass. They are incredibly high in the bureaucracy of the world, right?
Yeah, they're a extra national police force, effectively.
Right.
They have jurisdiction above everybody, effectively. They have jurisdiction to kind of investigate. Then they are very uncorruptible, and they are chosen specifically for that. So, yeah, they are. In terms of if you're kind of calculating who do we want to piss off,
right?
And inquisitors would be a tough one for sure,
right.
Especially because they are the guys that investigate crimes.
Yes. Just explicitly what the mission states is if the Inquisitor is killed, we get 1 rep with the Black Caps and not get raided by the Black Caps. If we go against that and we gather the evidence and deliver it to the Onihoshi, we get 12 coin. If we warn the Inquisitor that the Black Caps are trying to kill him, then we get +1 rep with the Onihoshi. Correct?
That's correct. They specifically want a letter delivered to them.
Yeah, that's right. We had the letter.
Exactly.
Ooh, crap! We got a letter.
So maybe we just hand this letter off and
unstated consequences, but makes sense in the fiction is if we kill the Inquisitor, other Inquisitors come try to figure out what the fuck happened, and now we have other Inquisitors coming down our neck. Now, yes, the Black Caps are in more immediate danger, and we get raided and all that shit. I'm more of a piss off the Black Caps versus the Inquisitors, but I am the newbie and would be fine to go along with what everyone else wants. Just so we're all on the same page.
I thought you're Diablo.
That's right.
I mean, you did not help set this up, but go ahead.
And just I forgot I didn't give you what evidence you're supposed to be grabbing specifically. And so this evidence is going to be evidence that is hold on, where did I put it? It is evidence that's tying Ashikaga to a lot of recent disappearances and potential like soul shard experimentation on mortals, basically, on people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I was-
specifically
I was-
interested in that honeymoon,
Yeah, it says right there, soul shard experiment.
I was under the impression of. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was under the impression of fuck 12, and I thought that's the route that we were going.
Yeah,
That is what Dre said last time.
F11.
Yeah.
Phoenix to F11.
They kind of both 12 though, you know.
Also
There's a
true.
couple of 12 options, so it's like. Also, I guess D, is it something to where maybe we do this after the score? If supposing that we actually get the evidence, is it something that we could try to figure out if this evidence is worth more than 12 coin to someone other than Onihoshi and also piss off the Onihoshi?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gusto.
Like steal their
everybody
job
all
and then
around.
sell it to someone who will pay more?
Where'd that 360 come from?
You can
Just a
absolutely do it.
thought.
Now we
Just a thought.
can piss
Big-
off
okay.
the Inquisitors, we can piss off the Black Caps, and we can piss off
Everybody.
Who do we want to make mad the most this
We can
time?
make ourselves real happy with lots of coin. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, he just said the part about the soul shard experimentation seems really interesting and would probably be of, you know, there's probably a lot of people that be, you know, into that evidence. So that's just my thought.
You know what else I heard? Hodam is a bunch of bitches.
That's right. Honam all day.
Oh, and I'm not even this part of the city.
Yeah.
They're still getting blamed.
Well,
And you know what else? The Shadow Dragon Association is just full with a bunch of suckers. Like,
That's true,
everybody else. We want smoke with everybody. We're smoke on the water, damn it.
That's right.
Okay. So what are you guys trying to do?
So yeah, I guess like I would like to decide as a group what our at least plan A of what our goal is to have happen. Take evidence, give it to Onihoshi, not kill Inquisitor, or where are we at with all that?
I mean, I can throw this out so it makes it easier. We just run into the building, grab the evidence, and have Yuna just teleport us back to the safe house.
try.
It will
It's
definitely
always
be that smooth and easy.
It always is.
It always is.
It's never difficult.
We
Well,
planned these things to a T for a reason.
I mean, we have to get the new guy acquainted with the ghost, so my
That's
line
very true.
makes sense. Like, so-
Did I see? We gotta retcon this. What's that called in this game?
Yeah, you got to pull his hair.
Yeah, I gotta pull his hair. He's a very
Oh, that's
hairy
right.
beast.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He's a
Gotta
hairy
have the
beast,
hair pull.
though, so yeah, we gotta pluck that. I see y'all are so gung ho
like-
about it, because I was just gonna be like, well, we're burning the building down. That's a lost cause. Give the Inquisitor the letter and pretend like that's what we meant to do from the beginning, and walk away. But none of y'all seem ready for that. So if y'all want to fly into this burning building, we will retcon that I am waiting to pull you out with my hopefully awesome magic.
I mean,
From
we
the
don't even
safety of our
really
hideout.
Have to retcon it because I kind of already implied this is what was happening because I
You did.
told them about.
Fantastic. Fantastic. We'll only need to retcon the pulling
How
of
do you feel about
Diablo's hair.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like because she was at the meeting, I believe, when Diablo was introduced.
I don't think I was. I think I
Were
missed
you?
it.
Oh, you weren't on that session. Oh, okay, fair enough. I do. He did. Oh yeah. Well, they did bring him to the hideout, and Yuna would have definitely been there, and I think definitely would have plucked.
She's
Yeah,
just
we're-
got
we're
the
about-
weirdest little hair bouquet that she keeps
Mhm.
now.
We're about to
Everybody.
take him down,
But
but
we
then
can
Dr.
retcon is
Rashad.
when I said that, like, how do you feel about Ghost? I also pulled a piece of his hair in that moment.
You can ask him that. I'll pull a piece of his hair and we'll just take him from both sides and really confuse him. If you're not cool with that, then you're not going to be cool in this crew, so.
Yeah, Dr. Rashad basically, he was at the safe house when we walked in and basically blurted all our business right out in front of Diablo.
Of
So he learned.
course, Dr. Rashad did.
He learned about our crew real fast.
Listen, Dr. Rashad's an excitable guy. He just figured whoever you brought was probably a friend.
Probably. Super legit. All right.
Okay.
So it sounds like y'all are gonna fly in there. How do I know that? Am I also on comms
You're
with
on comms.
Stills? Okay. Beautiful.
I think Yuna, I think for this you would have to be there to get them from the building back to the hideout. Like you'd have to be physically with them to transport people. I think we're gonna have to put a limit on that at least.
That's not nearly as much fun. But okay.
Gonna rein y'all in a little bit with this.
What if she's not in the
thing.
building, but you can like ghost field them out of the building?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say
you know,
like
you got the magic rings, just like
yeah, because I mean again, like character
portal, they can just walk out.
like character power is kind of determined by tier, of more or less. So, like in this instance, like you know, she's growing as a whisper. I don't think she can pull people from the other side of the city with an open ghost field levels
I'm
of power.
not Doctor Strange level yet. What?
You're not a witch. You're not a straight up witch level of power at this point. That's tier 5 maybe.
Fine.
So you've got to be in close proximity with your people in order to attempt that. Because remember, you're
down 2 floors.
Yeah, because remember, you're opening the ghost field and walking in, and then basically having to travel through this labyrinth, you know, to go to another side of the city. So you've got to guide them through the ghost field, or else they will end up lost in a hellscape.
Oh God!
And that also sounds like a good adventure.
So are we decided on? So you're trying to get the evidence, and you are leaving what to do with the Inquisitor as pending. Is that what we're going with then?
Inquisitor has to be pending. Right now, the evidence is the main focus.
Okay.
Get in there, get the evidence, and get out alive, if possible.
Okay. So yeah, you've got a building with people kind of hurriedly rushing out. Golden dragons yelling, you know, trying to move people out of the building. They're both outside and in the building, and yeah, that's what you've got right now. So what do you guys do? You are outside of the building at the moment. Going against the crowd would be pretty difficult and obviously noticeable. So what do you do?
We were dressed up as like repairmen or some shit to get in, and then the fire started, right? Is that where?
If I remember right, you I don't know if what you were dressed as. You were dressed as something that would have made sense for you to be there. But
business casual with his little polo and his name badge.
Yeah, I mean, I think you were dressed more or less business casual to appear as if you were, you know, as if you had business there. You know, you also had the security credentials to pass the sigil scan.
I'm just trying to think. We could pretend to be, you know, scream out like security or fucking not security, fucking emergency services, and try to get them to move out of the way so we can go into the building. Because not being seen, we're probably going to be seen, I'm assuming, with pretty much whatever we do, unless we just ghost field bullshit everything.
So you're working with so they have a system of tracking and logging evidence, and if evidence like that's important is about to be destroyed, they probably send somebody in there to get that important evidence, and that could be like the swing to like get past whoever's trying to stop you from going where you need to go. It's like, I have to get this evidence out of the building before it's destroyed, otherwise all these cases are lost. Do you know what I'm saying? Type situation.
Can we just break a window on the back side of the building?
This building actually doesn't have a lot of windows.
Yeah, and there are
it's a 3-story building. It's like an old brick style apartment, if I remember.
And there are no bottom floor windows, at least easily accessible. That would, let's say they're like small bathroom windows, just there to let a little bit of a little bit of air out, but they would not be big enough to squeeze through.
So many OSHA violations.
Oh yeah, no, this is a very, very badly built building.
Roof access.
We did.
I don't know what else to do. We got to get through the crowd somehow.
Yeah, and if I remember, there was no roof access either.
Yeah, there was no roof access either.
We're just gonna have.
We had some sort of bull-like man that could barrel his way through a crowd.
I'm trying to barrel through them with cover by saying we are emergency services.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you can 100% go with that if you want to go with the. I do think you had established it as something different.
Yeah,
so
100%.
the only thing I'll add. So the only thing I'll ask for, because you did pay like the acquiring an asset fee. So the only thing I think for this, I would just be like one stress for flashback to kind of change that to emergency services and just a little flashback scene of like your guys' preparation for in case something like this happened, like in case this exact scenario went down. Like what was sort of the flashback for that.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, is there like some sort of identification patch that we rip off and just put on the new ones? Like,
Sure. Yeah, maybe that is just
no longer made it. It's now
like
emergency. Yeah.
I'm a first responder.
You are getting
credentials.
you are business casual, but say again.
We should have, like, we're not true emergency services. We should try and play it like we are related to the building's emergency services. Like, my emergency response team doesn't look like firemen running in.
Fire warden! I'm the fire warden!
We just have little vests that people put on, and it's like, okay, you are now an official floor sweep. Get in there. You got to check your space or whatever. You're the incident commander. Just put our little vests on.
So this sounds like you're leading it. Someone is leading a group action here. So who is going to lead this?
Sounds like a very Moon Unit thing to do.
I was like,
no.
me.
I'm on it, guys. I'm on it. This is what I'm here for. I talk to the people.
He's the smooth talky guy.
He tries to be.
I also can be a smooth talker. I can command and consort. But
I think we got 3 talkers on the squad now.
I changed to be something that we didn't have, and we have everything. I'll be nothing.
You go ahead and talk, so then when my dice are terrible, it's not my fault.
It's really who wants to fucking take the stress.
I have no stress, so
yeah, me too.
I can take a stress.
Yeah, you both.
We'll say, all right, here strategically, we'll save Yuna's stress for the Never Shadow Realm shit. We'll let me handle the stuff on the top side. How about that?
I like how you think.
We're planning.
Strategery.
That's right.
Okay,
strategery.
I got one.
So you guys, you rip off the whatever your badge was before, put on your new building inspection badge.
Bright yellow.
Building fire response.
Little triangle with black. ERT.
That's right.
We're the emergency response team.
And
outside the building.
And you start pushing through the crowd, telling them, who you are, pointing at your badge at the Golden Dragons.
Exactly.
What are you using for that?
Command. I'm commanding them to get out of our way.
Makes sense. Everybody, go ahead and. So the it's going to be risky standard. Diablo's a big guy. People would naturally assume he's a dude in charge. But the Golden Dragons will maybe not be, so convinced. So that is why it's risky.
Could I? So as a group action, if I wanted to change position to desperate for great effect, I have to like state that before everyone else rolls or whatever, or does it really matter? Because I think they would get to mark XP at least for the desperate.
That's correct. Yeah, if you switch it to desperate, it becomes desperate for them as well. But everybody gets XP.
And then, but like the whatever happens would happen to me.
Correct. Yeah. If for every 1 to 3, you take 1 stress.
Gotcha. Perfect. Just so everyone knows, I'm going to switch position to make this a desperate action for great effect.
Okay. Do you want to push yourself, get an extra die?
I am going to now to use my ability, my Daredevil ability. Do I have to take stress to use it?
Stand by.
Because it just says when you roll a desperate action, you get +1 die to your roll if you also take -1 die to any resistance. I think it's just a choice. It's not like I have to push myself to do it, is how I'm reading that. Because I think the other ones explicitly state push yourself. Let me look at Banshee's.
Yeah.
Yeah, because hers is like you can push yourself to do one of the following.
Yeah, I mean, the way I'm reading it, it sounds like it's automatic.
I think it's a choice. Like if I will take a -1 die to resistance, then I'll get a +1.
I would
so I
rather
can either
that be
use
the case.
Daredevil or not, but
yeah, I would rather that be what it is. So yeah, let's go with that.
As of now, I will be Daredeviling.
Okay.
So I will be using that.
Awesome. Okay. So you've got +1 die from Daredevil. You're desperate for great. Are you going to push yourself, or are you just leaving it to the Daredevil?
I think it's going to stay at that. Do we want other people to roll first, or me, or does it matter?
It doesn't really matter because it's going to be whoever has the highest. Whatever the best result is.
I would humbly request all the people to roll before me, just in case we have to rely on me. Hopefully not. Hopefully this is a no pressure roll.
So it is a command desperate great, everybody.
Command desperate great. And then make sure to mark your XP.
Yep, everyone mark a piece of the pie.
Woohoo! Build another piece.
Okay, so right now you're just at 1 stress.
Partial.
2 stress. 2 stress.
2 stress, okay. So I'll mark those 2 stress, then I'll roll myself. Hold before 6, let's go. No.
Partial success.
Just a partial.
Okay. Excuse me. All right, so complication occurs. So yeah, you are able to push through. Again, big and bulky enough that you kind of, are able to just kind of strong arm people out of the way. Obviously, as you're pushing through and you kind of make way for the team to come through. When you get to the other side, the Golden Dragons, they're hustling people out, and you kind of bark out what you're doing. One of the Golden Dragons, he looks like probably the local the dude in charge, basically. Looks like squad leader. He points to another guy and says, "Spectre's okay? Yeah, escort them. Make sure they get to where they need to go." One of the other goons comes up, says, "Where are you heading to?"
We gotta go inside, clear all the floors for the emergency response team.
Right. I'll be escorting you. Just lead the way, sir. We'll get you in there and get you out.
All right, follow me.
Wait, don't move yet.
I do some hand signals, get my people going. I take, purposeful, confident steps. Hopefully the guy is on my wing, because I'm wanting Dre or whoever, the sneaky boys, to fade into the crowds that are moving around, while I'm going to door, move people, move.
I was gonna say, what is actually the chance of being able to snatch up these documents while we are just clearing people. If we are really trying to do a sweep in all the spaces, do we actually know where we're going enough to be like,
we have no idea. That's why I said wait while we're in the lobby so we can look around, because Stills brought this up last time. Look around in the lounge and see if there's a sign that says, hey, so-and-so's office is on this floor, this door, blah, blah, blah.
I need y'all to handle that while I'm fucking pretending I totally have been here and we're going through procedure.
So, you guys remember you guys have a superpower, and it's flashbacks. You can have that ability to know where you're going.
I thought that we could. I thought that the whole point was that we couldn't come in here to the lobby without being seen, basically, without being known.
Doing it through gathering info wasn't going to work. Mm-hmm. Just because of the roles. So the roles were the way the roles went, it wasn't going to work for that gathering info.
Gotcha.
But there's enough time in between your gather info bits that you could reasonably say how we thought about it wasn't going to work, so we did this. Flashback to, because flashback you're just paying the cost to here's the 2 stress or whatever the stress cost is, because it can be more. It's here's what I did to go in and get the information. Sometimes it requires a roll, but that's just kind of all that's really going to do is just kind of show the effectiveness of what you did, more than anything else. But that is sort of how that's supposed to work. It's just even if things in the setup weren't going your way, you can flash back to, okay, we made this work for us though in this way.
Okay. Well, then I guess who wants to pay the stress?
I mean, can I make it simple? Because I only have 1 stress to give. Can I just go back to when I was the Black Caps and I was sent to this building to do a delivery? And so I've been into the lobby at least, and that's all I know is the lobby. So I know if there's a sign that says hey, certain floors, but maybe his name isn't on it yet because he hadn't moved into this building yet. But I know where that sign is to go look.
If you do that, you're going to trauma though. That seems.
I'm going to trauma no matter what.
Maybe.
I mean, I would say in fairness to that being to a trauma being the consequence, I don't know that would be as helpful, because remember, he's only very recently come into this building, and you haven't been with Black Apps for a while.
Right.
So that
trying to get the layout of okay, how many how many rooms are on one floor?
Okay, I mean,
because we know there's 3 stories.
I don't know if it's worth giving you trauma. And sorry, y'all, I am thriving right now because I literally am doing a fire drill tomorrow. So I've been thinking about this shit for weeks.
I have to do a fire drill and tornado drill with my brother.
Nope, doing it for work. I know what people are going to be doing. Do we know this dude's name? Super easy to just be this is the floor.
Yeah, it's right there on the screen. Inquisitor Young.
Is there a bunch of not to be terrible, but is there a bunch of Inquisitor Yangs, or is there just one?
No.
Can I look for his name on the office? Perfect. Then I'm gonna sweep every office and just yank what I find in his office as I'm sweeping the floor.
Sort of.
So the issue initially, the obstacle here was that you did not know where the office was coming in. If you want to pay the flashback to have known where that is by coming in earlier and seeing that, that's fine. And being okay, I know where he's at. We're gonna move straight to that. That's fine. Because again, the consequence was initially that from the rolls during the gather information was that didn't work.
That didn't know.
So if Yuna wants to, and I would say that for depending on what she was going to do, if we were going to flash back to Yuna coming into the office to discover where Inquisitor Yang's office is, what would she do? And that would determine the flashback cost.
I still think this is very meta. I still think we should save Yuna's shit and either Dre or Stills figure out where he was. I think Stills could back into his IP or some shit and tell us where it might be or whatever cyberpunky bullshit, you know.
I figure we had the tracker on him, and while he has the tracker on him, he goes back and forth to his office, or he spends a certain amount of time in this room or that room. I can say like, okay, second floor, third building on the third door on the right. He spent a lot of time in there. That could be the evidence room, or that could just be his office. Hell, it could be his bathroom. You know what I mean?
So sorry, but I had to put a kibosh on that one specifically because you guys put the tracker on him right before the operation started.
Oh, okay.
So that one
we had thought
unfortunately
about doing it earlier, but then we did it differently.
Yeah, that one you specifically said happened right before, because you were gonna, that was like the kickoff point for the operation.
Okay. All right then. So yeah, maybe I can backlog into IPs and see where his login is at.
Sure. Yeah, we can try that. That's. Are you trying to flashback to that, or are you just doing that like through the operation now?
I could flash back to it.
Okay. That's going to be a pretty hefty cost. That one's going to be. I would say that would be 3 stress. To try and IP track an Inquisitor is going to be pretty difficult. But because it's in a like commandeered office building, he's still gonna have to roll for it. And this is going to, I guess what I'll say here is you're already like paying the cost. You're gonna know where his office is, but the roll is just gonna determine sort of
whether
future.
It's his office where the evidence is, or whether or not it's just like a work site type situation.
I'm just gonna say right now it's gonna be just general. It's just gonna set general future difficulty.
Okay.
So
is this something that would be simpler for like our ninja to just come in and look at a list of names?
Potentially.
I mean, instead of it being like a 3 stress cost, would it be like a 1 or 2 for Dre to have come in and, because if basically we're just figuring out where his office is by whatever means, what's actually the easier way for us to do that, I guess.
I think that's reasonable. Tracking through.
Also, I got an ability too that I have yet to use. The infiltrator ability. You are not affected by the quality or the tier when you bypass security measures.
That is very useful right now.
Yeah, it seems good. Seems like a good tool for this situation.
The whole
time. We should have just said Dre in. What are we doing?
He was letting Maggie just be excited about fire drills. So excited.
We could have did this the whole time.
So yeah, I mean, I would say then that would be just a single stress to come in at some point earlier during your guys' gather info time to find where his office is in the building. Excuse me.
Sweet. What an infiltrator.
Yeah, and I would say that's not even a roll. Like, you're just able to, you just find it out.
Well, thank you, Dre. That was very useful.
X marks the spot, guys. This is really
yeah, we you guys come in and we kind of flash back a little bit to Dre coming in. I would assume mask off, because that would be, they'd be a little wary of a dude walking in with a mask. And
mask off business, showing my noble side.
Just for since it's his whole aura, what if he just had like a surgical mask, like a I'm sick or don't want to get sick mask, but is like more
I do like that.
acceptable.
Yeah.
I want to be like Kakashi and like we never see his face.
I like it.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it. So yeah, you come in. What does he do to kind of just like get this info from? Oh, you're muted, buddy.
He slips in. He puts on his charm on the front office lady, and wiggles his way in there without really standing out much outside of being charming to that person. And hey, I'm looking for the Inquisitor. Knowing that people aren't that fond, and kind of tipping the cap to that. That way, there ain't no real light up. It's kind of like, yeah, go get that motherfucker. He's over here.
Yeah, just kind of shoot the shit, being like, these motherfucking Inquisitors, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of build a quick rapport. Chatting shit about Inquisitors a little bit. And she tells you, oh yeah, his office is on second floor, middle of the floor. You can't miss it. You go in there. It's gonna be. She's like, she warns you. She's like, it is a mess in there. Typers everywhere. It's like whatever business you have in there, I would suggest you get it done quickly. And so, excuse me. We see that scene play, and it comes back to Dre in the moment as Diablo is kind of pushing people aside, moving through with the Golden Dragon, kind of hot on his heels, trying to keep up because he's got a big stride.
Sweet. Yeah, I think I would just continue to try to fucking distract the guide by pretending to do a great job of actually handling the emergency while the others handle the evidence.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hey, with that, could I pretty much use my already knowledge to get to his office and drop the possible letter for him in a safe space where his current evidence is at? So that way, when he goes to collect that evidence, he finds the letter that we're supposed to be delivering.
Sure. I mean, you can attempt that depending on the state of the office when you get there.
Right.
But do remember, I mean, there is a fire. There's a potential chance it could engulf this entire building and burn that letter.
I guess does it have to be delivered physically? Like, can we not just phantom drop some email?
I'm going to say that
we may not have his. Yeah.
Yeah, they seem specifically that they wanted this physical letter to be delivered to him.
I hope she like to do things old school.
Well, and
my only hesitation is the burning building. Like, if shit is lost, then we kind of end up losing out on that rep, I guess.
I'll give you a reminder. That his because you guys did find this out during your gather info. Where he's staying, like his hotel or motel room is nearby. And if you're brave enough, you could just plant the letter on him.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume he's got like a 360 fucking scan, record at all times bullshit thing. So, he's like a fucking Google van, That's just what I'm expecting.
Maybe he does now.
Yeah, that's just what I'm expecting. So maybe like potentially going to his hotel and sliding the letter under the door or whatever seems more reasonable. I would not want to plant it on the Inquisitor. Dre is filling up to that, fantastic, but Diablo's going to stay away from that.
Fair point.
And I'm sorry, everyone, if I gave the DM a cool idea that bites us in the ass later.
It's a very cool idea. So Dre, are you attempting to peel off and go upstairs? What are you doing?
Yeah. We still, even if I do try to physically plant that on him, we still need to get the other evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is what I do. So I'm gonna try to get up in there. There's already really no one here. I already know how to bypass all the security stuff. So I'm gonna just try to get there, find what I can find, and get out.
Yeah. Let's see. What do we want to do here? Yeah. You know what? Nah. Yeah. Because Diablo has got his role was enough to basically keep that guard distracted at this point. So you're able to kind of peel off with no issues. Yuna, are you kind of staying with Diablo and also helping like direct people to
I think so.
the building?
I think
okay.
Playing the role.
Lil J, what are you doing as well in the building?
Dre knows where he's going. I think I might just kind of sit back, give Dre a comp piece to, you know, let him know, like, if anybody comes up from behind him, like, if the dragons start, like, getting suspicious or anybody gets suspicious, then you go off to look for him or something.
Okay, so you're going to, like, stand guard by the stairs.
Yeah, kind of recon
and
it.
warn them.
Yeah.
And try to give them advance warning in case anyone's coming up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Dre,
while at the same time, you know, telling people like, "Hey, exit's that way. You should know this because there's only one exit."
Right.
True.
Okay. So yeah, Dre, you are able to very easily get to the office. Is in, you know, the middle of like 3 offices on the eastern side. And obviously locked. So you will need to perform an action to get into the office. What is Dre gonna do?
I'm just going to probably just try to sneak in there. I don't know if that would be like a prowl or what that looks like.
It's locked, so finesse potentially.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just try to break in there with that and see if I can.
And you, as you are working, you also do notice that like there is a sort of it's like a small wire, like a piece of tape, some sort of measure that like that you know is used by someone who is like trying to see if someone might open the door after they left.
Okay. I do have, as far as my loadout, I can use fine tinkering tools. Would I be able to use that to assist me as far as possibly disarming that without notice?
I think so. Let me just take a look at what. Can you read off what those do? If you know, if there's or do they just? Is it just the tools? It doesn't say like what they do. I know there's a
finely crafted set of tools for detailed mechanism work, a jeweler's loop, measuring devices, or I have fine wrecking tools, and that's a specialized set of tools for sabotage and destruction, a small powerful drill, a mallet, steel spikes, pry bar, electroplasmic battery, clamps, wire, vials of acid, a spark of torch or cutter, or fuel tank. So I guess that one would be probably.
Yeah, that would be if you were just going loud and didn't give a shit. I do think the Tinker's tools would be fun to because I think that would increase your shit. I don't remember. I think it increases your effect. If I'm remembering correctly, I might be wrong on that, but we'll just go with that for now. So yeah, if you use those, it'll increase your effect. And so it was started at risky standard, so now it is risky for great effect.
Cool.
And so are you? So you and just kind of make it clear. It's like when you break through this door, when you break in, it will be clear that you did it. With this roll, do you want to make it so that is like? I guess what I'm asking is he trying to? Does he care to make to try to hide that, or does he not care to try to hide that someone broke in?
He's going to do his best to try to hide that he broke in.
Okay. So it doesn't change the roll. It's still risky. Still great effect. It just kind of changes the outcome a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is, so you are able to you're able to get in easily. It's not a difficult lock for you at all. You know, it's a little shitty office door lock. You get in, and the smell of smoke starts to really increase. You kind of see like the haze is starting to gather as you open the door. It's starting to seep in. So the fire is starting to spread. I just need to see. So this is great. So it's actually spreading quickly at this point. Is that how that works? Yes. That's 2 ticks on the clock. The fire is spreading actually pretty quickly. It's actually kind of caught on a lot of, again, loose papers and bullshit on the floor above you. That is where the fire is at the moment. So in answer to Maggie's earlier question, no, there is no sprinkler system in here. This is a very bad building. So it is just on fire and burning up potentially very quickly. Those of you, I mean, you all kind of hear sort of the like bells, the distant bells ringing of fire crews starting to make their way to the building, but they are still distant at the moment. You get into the office, and yeah, it is stacked to the brim with papers, very haphazardly. It looks like a chaotic mess. What do you do as you get in here?
As I get in, I try to look around and look for some kind of filing cabinet with a lock, maybe something around the desk, maybe a safe box or something like that, but somewhere that you would try to have protected documents.
Okay. Yeah. What does he use to try to do that search?
I would go with study.
Study? Okay. Yeah, and this is going to be pretty difficult because again, it looks like a chaotic mess, and you're not sure whether that is intentional or not. And so it is going off the, I think, reasonable assumption that like important documents could be in locked areas, but you're not totally sure. So this is going to be it's going to be risky limited starting off.
Cool. Would I be able to use a tune bring some magic into this. I know I'm probably adding more onto myself. I shouldn't do that, but role play.
No, I think it's cool. What is he wanting to do with Tune?
I want to almost use like soul eyes or something like that to kind of increase my vision. I'm assuming like there's smoke, there's flames above, there, smoky. I want to be able to almost see better in this particular area. That way I can search a little easier as well. I know that kind of puts more on it because I'm creating the smoke and stuff that you didn't necessarily say was there, but I just think it's fitting.
No, I mean,
situation.
I mean, like the smoke is definitely like gathering as he's doing this, so that's not like an unreasonable thing to come to. Yeah, I mean, so he is kind of tapping into this magical energy to enhance his vision, to see through the smoke.
His vision, his senses, maybe it helps him breathe better, move better. Just he's enhancing, almost like a Witcher serum or something, enhancing his body a little bit to be able to handle the situation.
Okay, and this is and he's using this to, he's using this to again still search like through the like locked areas, see like looking at the locked areas first to see if that's where the documents are potentially.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So it is risky limited. You can trade position if you want, or push yourself for an extra die.
I shall trade position.
Okay, so he's going desperate for standard, and I think that makes sense. This is kind of an increasingly desperate situation, as time is a factor for sure. And does he want to push himself for an extra die?
Yes.
Okay, so 2 stress, and you get an extra die, sir. So desperate for standard effect.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. So a couple of things happen here. The fire spreads very quickly, and as you
can I again,
you can resist as well. Sorry,
I probably shouldn't play into this, but I want to. So I went in with the magic. It completely backfires on me, and I want to go kind of play into my trauma a bit of being paranoid and essentially outplaying the fact that I caused the fire to spread. So instead of it just increasing, my magic is what really did that, and I kind of have a breakdown mid-search.
Okay, is it that he's convinced that his magic is what did it? Like he's paranoid that like, oh, I fucked this up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, god damn it, and I can't do anything right. Fucking magic and fuck my family. Like everything just comes into play in that moment.
Okay. Also, again,
open calm. Like, do we hear this breakdown happening? Do we gotta come check on you? I'm serious.
Yeah, is it on open comm? That'd be interesting.
I'm not hiding it. I'm went from silent to
just swearing a storm.
Yeah.
I need to go check on him.
So again, you can resist though this if you the consequence if you want.
I will resist, but I still want to play into the.
Totally, because it's still I would say the resistance here is going to reduce it, not completely stop it. And the consequence here is that the fire is spreading, the clock continues. It would have filled up, but resisting will just fill in one more piece of the pie. So yeah, resistance is gonna be I think resolve. I think resolve is gonna be the resistance roll here.
that's straight up, right?
Yeah, just straight up the resolve deal. Okay, you only take 3 stress. Well, only. I guess he has 1 more before trauma at this point. But the fire spreads, and I think like what causes Dre to kind of like spiral a little bit is like part of the roof just collapses into the office. And you see the flames licking some of the flames are still on pieces of the floor that dropped down, and so it's already starting to spread to the office. And so I think that would probably be why it kind of sends him into a little bit of a spiral. So everybody on comms, you hear Dre kind of losing it a little bit, and you see the smoke is getting denser, and you can kind of hear the fire, and sort of parts of the building are collapsing now. What do you do?
I'm telling everybody, all my systems over here are going nuts. Looks like the building might be falling apart. If you're able to get out of there, I'd suggest now's the time to do it.
I'm leaving Dre up there. We need the evidence. I'm going up the stairs. I'm heading straight to the room.
Okay, little Jay, you bounce up there. Is anyone else? So we know that Diablo's got the Golden Dragon with him, who is definitely looking nervous right now as the building is just kind of starting to fall apart.
Yeah.
Just another Monday.
Just another Monday.
Could I try to convince him to leave the building and like let me like go save yourself? Like, you don't need to be here. I'll be fine. I'm gonna get the rest out, so I can move freely, basically.
Absolutely. Yeah. What is the Diablo gonna roll to do that?
Let's see. I guess sway.
Sway?
I'm gonna try sway. Yeah. I would try
what does he
to.
do?
He grabs him by the shoulder to face him, basically, because like I'm assuming there's still enough people that are trying to get out that they're sort of being jostled in the hallways, and so he kind of just squares it up with him, and then he like reaches out his hand to go for like a handshake. He's just like,
"You don't need to be here. This is not your job. I'm gonna handle this. Get the rest of them out. You go ahead and get out. You got a family. You gotta do what you gotta do. You got somewhere to be. It's been a pleasure."
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Risky standard. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna say risky great, because this guy's freaked out. He wants to leave. And so it's not gonna take a lot to convince him.
copy that. Is Yuna still with me? Could I persuade you to help me with this somehow?
Throw an aid check.
So yeah, I would just aid and echo his, "You're not helping us at this point anyway. We need to just get through here and get everybody out. Save yourself, bro."
You're trash. Get out.
More like you're slowing us down.
You're just taking up space.
Say it.
You're slowing down the flow.
Oh man, that's awesome.
You're trash. It's like you're on the game.
Okay, so you know, you take 1 stress. Give Diablo 1 die.
So then, could I push myself to get an additional die? So I would hit 2 dice. Is that a thing?
That's correct.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take 2 stress, get an additional die, and see what happens.
Probably gonna be stressed out after the first thing.
All right,
hey, we got a 6. We got a 6.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Again, did not take a lot to convince this guy. He was just like, you know, he's a young dude. You know, he's like, you know, got a wife, new baby. Hey, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. Gotta get out of here.
Perfect. We'll be with that.
He's like, he kind of pats you on the shoulder. Be safe. Get out of here. Don't be a hero. And definitely like hightails it out of there with the crowd.
Somebody's got to be the hero.
As soon as he's gone, just start booking it towards Dre.
Yep. Okay. Same.
Yeah, and the building is pretty much cleared out by this point. You know, you guys were able to kind of help filter out most of the folks. There's some stragglers that are, you know, people again during fires still trying to grab shit. So
walking out for no reason.
Some old dude's just still sitting at his desk like it's nothing. Like
exactly,
I'm gonna let you die.
Just another Monday.
The dog, everything's on fire around the dog. Everything's fine.
This is fine. I have to get this in. The deadline is today. Like, okay.
So yeah, you guys get up there and you know, you kind of you get up there kind of mid tirade for Dre. Yeah, you see him just kind of beating himself up as you get in there. Yeah, what do you do? Lil J, you were kind of the first one that was moving to go see him. So you kind of get there first. So what do you do when you see him?
I like pat him on the back and be like, "Yo, get your head right. We're on a mission. Let's go.
Get your head in the game.
Get your head in the game. Where have you looked? Where have you not looked? We got to find this evidence. Come on."
I can't do it.
I'm gonna whap you with this tail if you don't get up on your feet and start helping me look.
Don't use magic.
Don't
do it.
What are you talking about? I don't know magic. Just go over there.
I say, like, as he's saying that, Yuna kind of comes up at that moment.
Yes, Yuna comes up, looks at him like he's stupid. Don't use magic. Grab what you can, and we will get out of here. And she is literally already getting ready to open up her magic field and, like, hopefully bop us home. Her idea is just grab all the documents that you can get in your hands, and we'll deal with this later, because ain't nobody want to burn alive. Seems stressful.
The documents, just start throwing them into the portal.
I don't know if it works like that. It's not a bag of holding.
Everything and anything you can just throw in the portal.
Well, yeah, it's not a bag of holding, but it'll be there on the other side when we get there.
Can we
just take that time and go through it in the hellscape that Dee was describing, you know.
A hellscape that constantly changes positions. So you never know where those. You don't know where those papers are going to end.
No, you get what you can. What I was thinking is, what can we get in our hands, and I can try and bop us home. But
okay. I mean, is that what you guys want to do? You want to just grab and go, or
yep, tell her no, it's okay.
Are you going to try to do as quick a search as you can to?
Do we have any good searchy people?
I mean, I think somebody there is a hunter.
Yeah. Good old Jim Gordon.
He knows what evidence looks like. He's been doing Black Cat for years.
I think
That's very true.
I think we established hunt can be used for searching. Yeah.
And yeah, Jim is a former Black Cat. He would have at least an inkling of not only how, like, you know, Black Cat investigators operate, but even potentially Inquisitors, right? I think that makes sense.
I may have ran into one or two back in the day and conversated with them.
Yeah, they would have absolutely been a pain in y'all's asses as well.
I mean, that's probably what I'd do. I'd probably, you know, after seeing Dre's panic attack, get him out of my head for a minute, look around the room and be like, okay, what stands out? Like, what's the one piece of cabinet, hidden object, hidden frame, anything, like what stands out the most that, oh, this is where it should be.
Okay, so yeah, what is he? He's in hunt for that. Yep. Yeah, I think risky, great, because again, I think Jim's background makes a lot of sense in terms of like trying to figure this out.
All right, guys.
Baby boy.
I'll take a stress to. You totally did it, bro.
I don't need your help.
I don't need it.
Right back.
All right. I won't help.
I'll tell you where to put that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So Jim, you know, like again, you kind of recall some, like, a captain told you once, you know, that like, oh, Inquisitors are real tricky. They love to kind of like make a chaotic maze to hide their their evidence in plain sight, but they'll also booby trap it. So like you kind of look around and you spot like you're like, nah, it's not anywhere locked. Like they don't do that. Like they hide it out in plain sight where people won't think to look. And you kind of spot like it's the way it's angled is just different enough that you spot it in this massive stack of papers. A few like a folder that's just like a little bit angled differently. You see it and you're like, that's it. You know for certain that's what you're looking for. But you also see like a tiny string attached to it, and you know for sure if you pull that folder, something is going to happen.
Oh boy.
So what do you guys do? You now know that. So Jim, how does Jim point this out to the crew if he does at all?
I would just look back and be like, I found where it is. It's over here. Don't touch it unless you can disarm it.
Okay, yeah. So crew, you hear Jim's proclamation? What do you do?
One time I need Ray to snap out of it.
We have to get these documents and get out of here. I can't use magic, but I can still do this.
Yuna, thinking that she's being helpful, would totally give you a little kiss on the cheek and be like, I've got the magic handled. We need you to disarm this.
Magic in me.
I would go in with the same tools and try to use finesse again to get this disarmed.
Okay. Yeah. You get over to it. You see like, and you even see like it's not even just one string. It's actually like multiple strings and kind of like counterweights on the stacks of paper. Very intricate. That like if you touch any part of this, you assume that it is just going to burst into flames almost certainly.
More fire.
More fire. So,
come on, Trey, don't get more traumatized.
Would I be able to like YouTube Academy while I'm remotely and like 5 minutes there, be like red wire, yellow wire, you know?
I mean,
how do you know I'm not colorblind?
I can't see a reason why not. You know,
if you want to, if that's going to be his assist,
I can like aid him. I can aid him.
I think we'll say what it is like. He goes on to like the scoundrel forums, like the dark web scoundrel forums. It's like, hey, anyone know how to like disable investigator bullshit traps? If people are like, oh yeah, this is what you do, and so Stills is just rattling off like what you got to do to get rid of to undo this trap as you're doing it. So yeah, you can take a die for that, and it's gonna be risky standard, I think, at this point. You are very well aware at this point of where all the traps are. Jim was able to kind of help point out where everything was. So starting it out risky standard.
Would the tools make that risky greater?
That's correct. Thank you. So yeah, risky great.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Ooh, excuse me. So yeah, you got Stills in your ear doing like you gotta do like this, man. You gotta do like this. Like no, don't do it like that. Don't do it like that. That kind of shit. You're able to kind of snip, do them in the right order, move the papers in just the right way to kind of slip these batch of folders filled with. And as you kind of pop them open just to make sure, you see like kind of all the keywords that you were looking for, Ashkaga, soul shard experimentation, whole experimentation with humans or just people in general, all that kinds of shit. You're like, okay, boom, got it. But the building is collapsing around you. The fire spreads to the office. Remember, one of the parts of the building that were on fire fell into the office. So the office and surrounding floor are now catching fire. So what do you guys do?
This is my moment that Travis has been saving me for. We're gonna open up the ghost field and try and get everybody out of here.
Okay.
Better put everything you got into it.
I'm gonna roll a fortune roll real quick to see if this building. Now again, this building was not up to code. They're supposed to have lightning barriers in there to stop random ghost field.
No, man, they've got one exit and no fire extinguishers. Like they don't have no ghost barriers.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see if someone was doing their job on that particular day.
I'm gonna be really offended if they were.
So
personally.
I'd say the 1 to 3, absolutely not. They did. There's a shit ass building. They didn't put that there. 4 or 5, it's there, but it wasn't inspected recently, so it maybe doesn't work that well. 6, it's there and miraculously is like the most intact thing in the building.
The Inquisitor put it in himself.
Oh yeah.
Hey, it fits with the fiction. There is no lightning barrier in this building. So you are clear for takeoff.
All right. Cool.
Seen that 6 at the edge. I was like, what the?
I was like,
you fucking imagine?
that person took that job serious. You had one job.
So you know,
at my house, but I'm over here sweating.
You know, you are attempting to open the ghost field and transport your folks. So there's going to be a kind of a series of rolls. We're really 2, I guess, depending on how things go. So first is just what happens when you open the ghost field. So that's kind of our first roll. Because again, a lot of crazy shit is in the ghost field. You open that thing up, you're really taking the chance. So, but let's see. Sorry. So, as well as the fact that the floor is currently on fire, is going to be, messing with the concentration a little bit. So it's going to start at risky limited, is where we're starting at.
Cool. I'm going to channel the "It's fine, dog. This is fine. It's all fine."
We did eventually get to the "It's fine, dog" portion of the heist.
It's fine. So we will be using a tune. I want to push myself.
You going for an extra die, or?
Yes, and I want to change positions. I want to do both.
Okay. So desperate for standard.
Yes.
And then an extra die. Anyone trying to aid?
He's like, nah, man.
I think it's me. Yeah, I think it's me. The other 2 that are physically here are about to fucking trauma. So
yeah, I mean, how does Diablo
fix things on the internet with how to do magic?
I think literally the floor is lava, and so he just like picks her up so she doesn't catch fire.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You.
Yeah, the fire is steadily creeping toward for sure. So that would at least help her concentration a little bit. Has Diablo ever seen anyone open the ghost field before?
No. And I'm assuming, maybe we should flashback, but I'm assuming that this strategy has sort of been explained. Like, yeah, no, it's probably what we're going to do. We're going there. So, like, maybe he has, like, a blank idea of, like
alluded to the fact that this might be what happened. And I hair.
I feel like he doesn't know. He doesn't know specifically what will happen, but he's like, okay, we're going into a different plane right now. So he's kind of just waiting.
CJ, you're muted.
As you lift her up, I look up at you and say, "This is the ghost part."
Yeah, they definitely told you about that for sure. Yeah, dang, this ghost field. She is
undefeated.
Attuned to the ghost field. So with ease, the fire does not bother Yuna at all. She's helped obviously by Diablo, but again, Yuna kind of thrives in weird situations, and this is a very weird one. So she opens up.
Yuna's a bit of a weirdo.
And Diablo, this is I assume this is his first time seeing it. So, you see what looks like it looks like the office building, but it's almost warped and wrong. It's like grayscale. There is like sort of this like black ichor that kind of is like floating up from the floor. And as you guys kind of walk in, it feels very cold. It feels very wrong. And you can kind of hear whispers as you guys step through. What would his reaction to this be? Honestly.
I would assume that he's like still holding Yuna, just walking like her first and then him following her. And then like once we get to the other side, yeah, just gently place her on the ground, and then once he does, he kind of would just like look around and look at her.
Is this normal? Is it always like this?
Oh, it's very normal.
Sometimes there's more purple.
Okay. What should I be on the lookout for?
Freddy.
Everything.
Ghost over there. Freddy. Don't go close to him.
Don't say hi to Freddy.
Stay with me.
You got it.
Yeah, and Yuna is your guys' beacon through the darkness, basically here.
Does the tracker ever go off about him like coming back? The Inquisitor.
It was about to, honestly.
Ooh.
But you guys were able to kind of get in there and get out quick enough.
Figure out how to get the letter to him.
So yeah, you enter into the ghost field, and the opening, the portal kind of slowly closes behind you, and you are in this sort of just very like unnaturally quiet, grayscale, warped environment that looks like the office, and even like some of the fire is there, but it's just it's like again grayscale, maybe with like a hint of blue, but it's not hot. It's like actually just cold to the touch.
Are we grayscale, or is it just the environment?
Everybody, yeah, everything is grayscale at this point.
Gotcha.
And so you've got to lead your people through the ghost field to your hideout, and that distance is very long. So that's going to be very, very difficult to do. So you may pop out. You may pop out somewhere unexpected, or you may not be able to pop out at all. So let's see what happens. So this is going to start at yeah, it's going to start at desperate, just because of the sort of the distance involved. Desperate standard.
And can I push myself again to get another dice?
Yeah, absolutely can.
Die. Okay.
And if anyone wants to aid, give her another die. You got to take one stress.
Can you give me one moment or tell me, is the limit 6 or 5 before I can't just de-stress without entanglements? I'm trying to...
I believe it is 6. I think 6 is where...
So if I have 6, I can clear it without the roll. But if I have 7, I need the roll.
I believe if you have 6... okay. Hold on. Let me just double check here for you.
Yeah.
I believe you've got to roll for your vice.
Right.
Or you got to roll to see what happens.
Right.
Yeah. If your stress level was 6 or more, you overindulge.
Okay.
So you gotta roll on the vice chart.
Well, I'm down to do it if folks are down to take another vice roll that could end up fucking us.
That's the game, baby.
What does Stills have? Because I have what I think is a fun flashback option that he could help me.
I get too stressed, so I'm here if you need me.
So my idea, and D, you can shoot this down, I just think it'd be funny, kind of flashback, is if I have like a candle from Honoka that is like for Ibagoth. And I can tell him that if we disappear and aren't on comms anymore and you know that we've jumped into the ghost field, light this candle because it's going to give me a beacon to aim for and help us move more efficiently through the ghost field.
No,
and that could be his help.
Yeah. If you want to use the stress to aid for that, Stills. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
What's that? 3?
Just one.
Just one?
Just one to aid.
All right.
So yeah, that's just the sort of the backstory for Stills aiding. So like, Stills, you hear
Stills is on comms. He's like, guys, ah shit. And he like slides around. He's got a chair with the wheels, slides across the room, and he's got his candle. And he's sitting there staring at the candle like this, like, come on.
And it looks like the black flame candle from Hocus Pocus.
Very nice. Very nice. Actually, has Stills been in the ghost field? I don't think he hasn't seen this either. So this is gonna be a new experience for him too, to see what this even is when it opens up. Ooh, okay. Interesting.
Somebody talk to Freddy.
Somebody talk to Freddy! We told you not to talk to him!
Yeah, this one has an interesting one, but it's going to be a kind of an extended scene with Yuna, I believe. One we may have to get into it next time. We'll see. I don't know if we'll have enough time. But Yuna, you are able to lead your people. And you guys, as you're walking through, like, she takes you through a door. It turns into as you walk through the door, it just becomes an open street. She walks down the street, takes you to another door. You're on the ceiling. It's just this topsy-turvy, continuously changing landscape as you are moving through here. She moves with a purpose. She looks like she knows where she's going. And you just have to kind of hope that she does at this point. And as you get to this last door, she opens it up, kind of breathes a sigh of relief, and you see her, open up the ghost field, and you see as the veil kind of parts, you see Stills on the other side of the veil, in his chair. How does Stills look at this as this like shimmer appears in the middle of the room, and then you just see this veil open up to this grayscale world, and your companions on the other side.
So this being like, Stills loves to scour the internet for the occult and mysteries and conspiracy theories and everything, and like he's read about it a few times, but he's never like actually witnessed it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he's sitting there over the candle, like, all right, I lit the candle. They told me I did everything I was supposed to do. And he's doing his own little silent prayers, and then he sees like this cascade of grayscale just kind of open up in the middle of the room, and he just flips over in his chair like, what the?
It's too real when it happened.
It's funny.
So yeah, you guys, you kind of see Stills sprawled out as the veil opens up. And Yuna kind of, shushes you. She pushes you through because you've got to go out before her. And so you guys are able to, you step back into a world of color, the normal world, the sights and sounds, everything kind of comes back. It's almost deafening because everything was just so eerily and weirdly quiet, that when everything kind of comes back, it's almost like a sensory overload when you return to the normal world. Excuse me. But Yuna, as you step through, you feel like it's almost like a wobble as you step through, and you know, like almost as soon as you step through that something happened as you got transported somewhere else when you step through, and you know the ghost field is very comfortable for Yuna because it's very like Eva Goss energy. Like when she's in there, she is like she's all about. She feels that energy everywhere. But as she steps through the portal, you know, at first it looks like she's going to be stepping into the hideout, but it subtly changes, like as soon as she steps through, and she kind of catches it at the last moment, but it's too late. And as she steps through, she finds herself in this, still the ghost field, but it's actually got like a purplish tint to it, and a little more. There's a little bit more noise to it. Like you hear a single raven cawing in the distance. As you step through, you see you're kind of like in this like wooded area with this small cemetery. Looks like just like a bunch of graves and a just wooden cabin sitting in the middle of this graveyard with a single raven above it cawing.
This is not what's happening. I recognize this is bad, but in Yuna's head, she's like, oh, retirement. I get hooked up with a pet. I can hang out in this cool cabin. The vibes are immaculate. This is so nice.
So the vibes, immaculate, bro. They match.
Beautiful.
Yeah. What does she do?
Probably just step off towards the cabin to see. I got brought here for some reason. As we already said, she's super comfortable, more so than she probably should be, in the ghost field. And so this doesn't scare her as much as it probably should. So let's go see what the point of me getting brought here was.
Sure. And I'll say like the one difference she can distinctly feel is like Eva Goss energy is still here, but it is like severely muted. Like it's like trying to like see them through like glass, like through like a glass bottle. Like the presence is still there, but it's definitely being blocked by something.
We are in some little bubble within the ghost field.
Definitely feels like a little pocket of the ghost field. And as you kind of approach the cabin, the door swings open, the raven kind of like swooshes past you, and a voice kind of calls out from within, says, "Well, don't be shy, dear. Come on in."
I'm going to accept the invitation. Let's go see what we can see.
So as you walk in, you see a woman sitting on the bed. Fans will know your girl.
Fans.
She as she sits on the bed, she's got a big old book, and she kind of closes it slowly. You see a face on it, slobbering face on top of it. She kind of sets it off, lets it float, and says, "Please, come in. I've got tea ready." And motions for you to have a seat. The interior of the cabin is very posh. You know, got a nice little bed. You know, nice little fur bed. A hearth. A very fancy tea table where she sits at. With 2 chairs and a tea set. And she motions for you to sit at the other side of the tea set.
My noble training would kick in, and she would sit down very prim and proper and thank her host for the hospitality.
Yeah, she says, "Of course, my dear, of course. Now, your name, Yuna, is it?"
Some would know me by that name, yes. But I don't know you.
You may call me Jamir.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yes, quite. And she, holds her hand out for a little handshake between you two, and says, "Now, my dear, this intrusion is quite interesting to me. There are not many who can pry open my personal domain." And she kind of gives you a very appraising look. Says, "By what manner were you trained?"
Mostly I am self-taught.
She says, "Self-taught. That is quite impressive." She says, "I'm always on the lookout for great talent, And from within you, there is a darkness, isn't there? One that thrives within this environment."
Yuna would kind of give her a look of her own and say, "I see you're a woman after my own heart."
Indeed I am. Indeed.
Oh.
However, you belong to another master, one that I am in contention with. Your master Yvagoth, yes?
Yes.
She, kind of gives you a very knowing smile and sits back and says, "Are you aware of who I am, my dear?"
Only that you must be quite powerful indeed to have carved this space for yourself.
You're not wrong, my dear. Allow me to introduce myself. Jamira Nozari, Elder Witch of the Moonlight Covenant. And what I would like to do, my dear, is offer you a proposal.
I'm listening.
Very good, very good. You see, ones with abilities such as yours are not too common. To be able to pry open my personal domain is not an easy task, I'll say. Even if it was accidental, it means that your raw potential is what I'm looking for. What I wish to do, then, is have you become one of my witches. How does that proposal sound to you?
What do I give up in exchange?
What do you give up in exchange? Well, I guess the better question is, what do you gain? What you give up is your allegiance to Yvagoth. He and I cannot coexist. My sisters are, some of them at least, are more ideologically desperate to destroy him. But I consider him more of a rival, if you will. This world will belong to one of us in the end, and I mean for it to be me. So that is what you would give up. As to what you would gain, well, I don't have to tell you. You've felt the power of witches on your own, haven't you?
Yes, you can be quite formidable.
As could you. Now, it's not an easy process. I won't pretend it isn't. And it's not a short process or a quick process. But in the end, should you persevere and stay true to your darker nature, at least if you become part of the Covenant, you'll find power unending. I aim to be the ruler of this world, and you could stand to be part of that pantheon in the end, above the rabble, if you so wish.
And must I decide before I leave your humble abode?
Of course not. I would not presume to hold you hostage. You are free to leave. But I will offer you a simple warning. You are on the path to becoming closely cemented, let's say, with Ibergoth. Your caretaker has had you performing rituals and sacrifices for him, yes?
You are correct.
Should you continue on the path, you will become inevitably yoked to Ibergoth. So much so that there will be no going back. The offer will unfortunately be null and void after a certain point. When that point comes, all I can offer you is this particular warning. Some of the more overzealous of my sisters and daughters will be very forthright in hunting after that point. Right now, you are not, let's say, noticeable. But once you advance to the next step, you are become as a beacon to witches, one in which they become compelled, let's say, to destroy and deal with. I mean this not to frighten or threaten you. It is simply the truth. For my part, my witches will not really bother with you. I have other matters to attend to. But my sister's covenants, their covens, they're almost certainly the Jade one. The Jade Coven will almost certainly be overzealous in their pursuit.
And if I were to take you up on your offer?
Well then, if you were to take me up on my offer, you would be welcomed in with loving and open arms into a sisterhood of necromancers and dark practitioners. You will become as a goddess in the end, standing above the rabble of this city, ruling it as you see fit. The only one you would answer to is me in the end. Well, should you prove powerful enough.
You make a gracious offer, one which I intend to ponder on most highly. Is there a way in which I can less accidentally contact you?
We will probably not see each other again after this. I will be honest. However, my granddaughter is in that little corner of Shinin Xiangxi. Zara is there. Seek her out if you decide you wish to become part of the Moonlight Covenant. She will guide you on the path at that point.
I am most grateful for this enlightening conversation, Madame Jamira.
She gives you a toast, says, "Well, I won't keep you, dear," and gives a sip. Says, "You can leave the way you came. The way is open. You are free to leave. It has been most enlightening. You are most charming, my dear."
As are you. You have given me much to think about.
She gives you another nod, and as you kind of leave, the cabin door slowly closes, and you see the shimmering veil kind of open back up, and your companions are on the other side. And we will, I guess next time we'll kind of determine how that looked like to everyone else who stepped through, and Yuna didn't.
Again, the vibes were immaculate.
They
so
were.
There's like this moment of bated breath where I'm like peeking over the edge of the computer chair. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And you see everybody like piling out of this big hole, and then where's Yuna? Where's Yuna?
You just had a spot of tea.
A spot of tea.
That's all. Just stopped for a spot of tea with new acquaintances.
Tea with new acquaintances, but we'll get into all the reactions and all that next time. It is 8:00, so as a solid session, we'll get into because we may not still be done, because you guys may want to try to deliver that letter, so we'll see what all that is next time. But great job in the burning building, though. You guys got right through that.
Hell yeah.
No real big.
Comforting, Dre. Hey,
What's that?
magic's not everything, Dre. It's okay.
It's okay, Dre. You don't gotta use your magic. It's okay.
It's okay. We got a debrief on that. Hey man, we messing up comms, talking all this crazy stuff.
Dre having
emergencies only.
Dre having a freak out on comms is I guess something they would want to talk about for sure. I guess that's
Right.
fair.
Hell yeah. Well,
Yeah,
GG's,
see what
y'all.
down next time, y'all.
Yeah.
Hell
Have
yeah.
a good night.
Hard
Have a
for
good
the
week.
newbie.
Night,
Keep all your
y'all.